to crank this up. I'm super excited to end 2025 out with you guys and welcome the new year in. The girl is alive. God is alive. Literally such a perfect morning routine. I woke up, watched the news, brushed my teeth, did my workout, showered, made some breakfast, read my Bible, and then I just finished posting a little just reminder that I posted a new video on socials. And then I read 2 chapters of Gentle and Lowly. This is a Christian nonfiction book about the heart of Christ for sinners and sufferers. And every time I pick up this book, it just feels like I'm getting a nice warm hug from an older Christian who just reminds me that Jesus is enough. But I think this book really shows the importance of just the power of confessing to Christ and telling him what you've done, and how when you tell him what you've done, there is so much freedom in knowing that the Savior of the world knows what you've done and still loves you, versus the pastor of your church, a deacon at your church, knows what you've done and still love you. It doesn't compare to you confessing directly to the Lord and watching him directly mend your heart, console, and comfort you. And I hope that made sense. I'm not knocking, confessions to local community, because that is scriptural, but I think this book really emphasizes a point that's been understated in the process of people encouraging people to confess to people in person, that the biggest confession you will ever make in your life is to Jesus. And that should be a daily thing of you just laying everything you've done to him and walking in freedom of just telling him what you've done, and he'll help you with it, And I hope all of that made sense. But this book is just really good and I'm really enjoying it. The past 2 chapters were about Jesus being an advocate and also Jesus being, I think it was your counselor. And I really did enjoy them. And they give the analogy that Jesus, when you are in the middle of sin, not after you've committed the sin, before you commit the sin, in the middle of your sin, he's looking at you and he's rooting for you to come to him with it and to just keep going and keep learning about him and keep getting stronger in your wisdom, because the goal as a Christian is not to not sin anymore. It's to love Jesus with all your mind, all your heart, all your soul. And when you love Jesus so deeply and you see how deeply sin hurts him, you will inadvertently, sin less. But as long as we are humans, we are going to be sinning. And I just think I really enjoy the perspective that this book takes, because it takes so much focus off of kind of the in the motions type of thing of just being in a bunch of just random small groups and this Bible study and that Bible study, but just reminding I think the readers how important it is to read the Bible and talk to Jesus about it and talk to Jesus about anything you're going through. And it's from the perspective of people who are sinners, and it's all of us. So I really like that. Okay, guys, I'm getting ready. I'm about to go to the vet with my older sister, and it's freezing again in Texas. I have no idea why, but I'm just wearing this long sleeve shirt. And I got this jacket such a long time ago. My mom thrifted it when I was literally in middle school. I vividly remember because I hated it, but I'm so glad I kept it because it's still long enough on my arms and everything. So I'm going to wear this as my jacket because it's quite warm, but I'm going to put a hat on because my hair is not doing well with the winter weather. I need to wash it, but I just keep procrastinating. So let's do a little hat. I put all my hats in a bin. Finally getting my room organized according to how I wear and use my stuff. I love a good camo moment, so I'm trying to figure out if I want to do this one or no, this one looks weird, or if I want to do this one. And I kind of like the pop of color. I look really this camo is a little jarring, I don't know, but I'm trying to figure out. Wait, maybe let's figure out my purse. Sorry, this is a bit chaotic. I think I'm gonna do my, it's kind of overkill with the browns and I don't like it. I have my green, but I feel like it's clashing with the blue in the shirt. I may just do, yeah. I think honestly, I'm just gonna do my everyday black purse. Kind of feel like I want to switch a hat. Should I just do this one? Or this one? This one's simple. I need a belt on too. I feel like this one's simple. This one's simple. Or, hold up, wait. I think I know what bag. This is like the most obvious bag choice. So we're gonna do this bag. Let me switch my stuff. But now I feel like I can switch my hat. This is the outfit. We're going to the vet. Why do I still hate the purse? I don't know. Let's go. Come on, honey. Best behavior, though. Then she's trying to act like nope. Okay guys, we're back home. It's a bit later and my final Christmas gift just came in the mail. I asked for Olivia Dean's The Art of Loving CD because we're growing my CD collection and I'm so excited. I'm opening it now, but I also ordered the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill CD today along with a DVD reader because also over like this Thanksgiving Christmas holiday break we reorganized all our videotapes and we have so many DVDs that I'm like, I low-key need to stop streaming stuff and just like watch through my entire like DVD collection. So hopefully I'll be able to watch more movies on my laptop with like the DVD player coming in because modern day laptops, especially if you have like Macs, don't even have a DVD like slot for CDs or DVDs, but also I want to burn and make my own CDs with like my favorite playlist and just like have that. I just think that'd be so fun. But this is the album. I'm so excited. It's so pretty in the inside. I cannot tell you the last time I bought like an American or not even American because she's British, but an album in English. So cute. Oh my gosh, so cute. Sorry for the dog, my neighbor's dog that you can hear, but I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty, y'all. Why is it so pretty? Why is it so pretty? This is so pretty. Yep, we're about to crank this up. I'm so excited. Okay, good morning guys. It's the next day. I'm up. I'm about to do my Pilates workout, but I just finished making my bed and I was just doing my morning prayers, talking to the Lord and just thanking him for everything he's done in 2025. Genuinely, I feel like he has showed me so much about who I am and I've discovered who I am again, and it just feels so weird to be able to say that, but like I feel like he just reminded me of what I'm interested in, what I dislike, what I'm drawn towards, what I tend to back away from. And I feel like in a year of 2025 when so many people are constantly reinventing themselves and trying to redefine themselves, the best redefining you can have is in the Lord and through just time with him and being like, who did you make me to be? Because when I tell you, I feel so just set in stone in who I am, and I've never really felt more this is me since I was like little. You know, when I was little, this is me, you know what I mean? But when you go to high school and you go to middle school, like you start to just be like, who am I? Like, what do I like? What I don't like? And it's just like normal run-of-the-mill adolescent stuff. But I'm just so glad at 23 I can say I know who I am. Because I know there's 25-year-olds, 26-year-olds, 27-year-olds who can't say that. And I'm just so glad. And I'm so glad. And I'm so excited for everything that's coming in 2026. Because I know that now that I know who I am, now I can add to myself. You know, now I can add a different occupation. Now I can add a different hobby, you know what I mean? Because I'm not trying to root myself in the occupation, in the hobby. We've done the groundwork of knowing who we are, and now we can add to it. And I'm just so thankful for that, and I hope that makes sense. It's now the week of New Year's, so it's still 2025 as of me filming this, but my plan for 2026 is genuinely just trusting God throughout everything. So like I said, I just graduated college with my master's, but I'm now pursuing a degree, like graduate certificate, not a degree, a graduate certificate in something that corresponds with my degree. So that's the next kind of journey we're going on together that I have never done before, so it'll be fun to show you guys. My course load is literally like a quarter of it. It's like 6 classes, so we'll be taking those together, see how long that takes. Shouldn't take long, and I'm just excited for 2026. And the Lord really, though, before like 2025 has even ended, he really already put me on to what I need to be focusing on in 2026, and that's wisdom. I feel like I've been blessed with a lot of like earthly knowledge, like hence me always liking to read and learning about things, like that's knowledge, but wisdom is like the lived experience kind of tools that you take with you every day that help you battle and just go through life well informed about like how you need to handle things. So I feel like wisdom and knowledge are two different things to me. Like knowledge is just like kind of like book smarts, and wisdom to me is like street smarts. And so I was talking to the Lord just like randomly last week, because I've just been like doing a lot better at like praying and talking to him, especially since graduating, because I'm like, okay, Lord, I've given you my future. I think I've always been very transparent about the fact that like when people ask me about like what I want to do career wise, I'm just like whatever the Lord tells me to do. And that's just been like something really consistent in my career and professional and academic like kind of sphere of my life. I'm just like, it's whatever the Lord wants me to do, especially when it comes to like writing and stuff. It's just whatever he wants me to do. And so when I was talking to him about like the new year and like jobs and like transitioning really into the real world, he was just like, read up on wisdom. Just read up on wisdom, because there's so many things that already since graduating have been thrown at me that I need wisdom and like lived experience to know how to handle. And I'm getting it from my local community, my mom, my sisters, and like extended family members and close family members that are able to speak that into me. But like wisdom also comes from the fear of the Lord. So just really getting myself humble and learning how to be humble and be like, God, how do I respond to this email? How do I respond to this job offer? How do I negotiate this contract? Like there's so many different things that I'm like, oh my gosh, I do not know how to do. And that's why the wisdom of the Lord is like the word, I think, for 2026 for me. But I wanted to give you guys like that teeny weeny life update that you all will see me do classwork and stuff like that. And if you're like, girl, what are you doing classwork for? Doing a little graduate certificate. I'm not going to walk for that certificate. I'm just going to get the certificate, and I'm going to learn a lot, prayerfully. That was the purpose of it, because I was not originally going to get a certificate. I was going to get my master's and be like, we'll think about a PhD, because I want to get one, but I'm like, when I want to get it, all in Lord's timing. But then the Lord just plopped the graduate certificate in my lap, and I was like, am I going to be disobedient, or am I just going to sign up and pay the $25 fee and apply? And so I applied and I got in, and I was like, ooh, wasn't expecting that. But when you listen to the Lord and just trust him, he will lead you on random little pathways that you're like, girl, what is this? So we're gonna see what 2026 has in store for us. But I'm about to rinse this face mask off. I got some blue magic for my edges, because y'all, this winter time has been drying out my edges so bad, and I have gotten really lazy with my locks, whereas I wash, condition them, style them, and I don't touch them. I usually put oil on them at least once a week, but since it's gotten cold and now it's hot again, like my hair really doesn't know what to do, my skin don't know what to do, so I have to get my skin together. That's why we have a face mask off on, about to rinse it off now. Then I'm gonna put some blue magic, I think, on my edges, like I said. But I've been seeing also a lot of the lock girlies say they just put it all on their scalp. My mom always has used like older school products on me, like Crown Royal, a bergamot, blue magic, and I think she used to just grease my scalp with it. So I'm probably just gonna grease my scalp with it in entirety. But I found like a big container. Let me show you. I found this big container at HEB. Like this was $2. So I was like, yeah, girl, we're going to have to start using this, because why the heck was this huge thing $2? And then I get online and all the lock girlies are like, yeah, no. This is the hidden secret for if you have locks, especially if you have thicker grain hair and your hair has been getting dry in your locks. they be talking about this. So this is old school. This is nothing new. But maybe I'm getting old now. I'm just going back to all the old school products that my mama used on me. I'm also the youngest of several older siblings, so I've always been a little older school. Like, always like love like shows that I wasn't even born. I was watching them. I wasn't born yet, but my older sisters were born and my older brother was born, so I was watching them. Like, I've always been into the older school stuff. So when it comes to like beauty and stuff, anytime my mom recommends something, I'd be like, let me look at that, because I feel like new school stuff is just so different, and it's also just everybody wants you to buy everything. I don't want to buy nothing no more. I'm sick of buying stuff. I just don't even know. But now I'm ranting. So let's get back to the regularly scheduled program, but I just want to give y'all a little update, life update, have a little girl chat. Okay, back to the video. Okay guys, it's a few hours later. We made our January goal board. I put all my goals for the month of January on the board, and I'm super excited for what the month has to hold for us. But I don't think I showed you guys that I decorated my CD player. I'm not sure if I think I told you. I don't know if I showed you, but this is how it came out. It is so cute. I actually really have been enjoying just listening to CDs on the CD player versus my phone, just because I don't think I realized how easy it is to open your phone to do one thing and then get sidetracked to do a million other things. But with the CD player, it's just press play or stop, so you can't get sidetracked. So I'm super excited to use my CD player during the school year and just like do work and genuinely do work and turn on my CD and like not have my phone, because I think my screen time last week was like 2 hours a day, because like since I bought the CD player, because that's what I mostly use my phone for. So I'm just super excited to be like really detached from my phone and really lean into that 2026. But I know that's been a trend, and I think it's called like the analog, it's like analog something. But I just think in general, one of my goals is always, especially someone born in the 2000s, is to like get away from digital stuff, because I think the more and more you center your life around digital things, the less and less you like center your life around reality. And I remember watching a video essay, and the girl in the video said that like everybody's so obsessed with their mirror image or their screen image that they forget who they are in real life. And like when you think about what your screen image is, it's like when you're getting dressed, do you think about what you would look like in a photograph or a video before you think about what someone's gonna see in real life when they meet you? And when she said that, I was like, oh my gosh, like maybe it's just me, because I film so much all the time that I was like, oh my gosh, like I do think about that first before I think like, does this outfit look good in person? And I was like, oh, reality check. And since then, I think I watched that video like 2 to 3 weeks ago. I've really been getting back into like my anti-phone bag, because I think every summer I usually delete socials and like just spend time with God and do my own thing. And I really want to just do that more regularly, and just like no socials, no I'm just gonna be with my CD player, my family, my friends, and just like vibe out. So I just want to show y'all that. Okay y'all, it is officially New Year's Eve. Me and my family are about to go to our watch service where you just ran in the new year with members of the church congregation. But I'm deciding to whip out this 𝚘𝚑 that I bought on sale Black Friday, and I said I was gonna wear it to any type of church event that's not a formal service. I said I wanted to whip this bag out, but we said we were going to leave at 9:30. It is currently 9:25, and I just decided to unbox this 𝚘𝚑. And I wish I wouldn't have waited so long, because there's so much stuffing that this is a little chaotic. But I'm super excited to end 2025 out with you guys and welcome the new year in. I pray blessings over you and your family, and I just thank you for being here with me. And I pray that each vlog you watch, you don't emulate what I do, but you just know more about Christ and how he can impact and move in people's lives. And I hope it inspires you to get closer to Christ and talk to him. I never want to be an influence. I want the Holy Spirit to influence you all through these vlogs and just show you the joy of the Lord throughout your daily life, and show you that you don't have to be a crazy, you know, like, I don't know, just preacher or minister to live a life for Christ. You can be an everyday girl just like I am, and you can be yourself in Christ. So that's my little spiel for the new year. I really do, though, appreciate and thank y'all so much for being here. I just post because the Lord really just blessed me with the love of filming, and so I'm just glad that you guys are here along the ride, and I just pray we all get closer to Christ and emulate him more. This is my little outfit. I popped on this red coat because I never have a chance to wear this red coat, and I'm trying to wear my clothes this 2026. So yeah, it's 9:26. Let me pack my bag and we're gonna head to this watch service. Happy New Year, y'all.
That's why we ought to be trying to do everything we can to love on God. So our favor with God increases. In the Bible, when the children of Israel rebelled, God held back some favor. When they got right with God, the favor of God blossomed again. If you want favor, you got to submit your life to the Lord in 2026. You got to look at your life and say, God, I need to get rid of some stuff so I can walk in direction. Favor with God is
Okay, good morning, guys. It's the next day. Happy New Year. So happy to reign in the new year with you guys and just in communion with the Holy Spirit and the body of believers. The Christ is alive. God is alive. He's gonna do something amazing this year. I drank some matcha lemonade, if you can't tell, but I think we're gonna go get some more coffee later. I'm not sure if I want to get a lemonade from the place or if I want to try a latte, because y'all know we've been not doing lattes. We have not been doing matcha lattes out. We only drink matcha lemonades out because the lattes have not been good. But also, I think one of my resolutions for the new year is no coffee, just because like my skin has been doing so much better without no coffee. I've been eating really bad, lots of sweets recently, and my skin does not like sweets, so I have a few breakouts. But yesterday I barely ate, yesterday I don't think I ate any sweets, and literally I woke up and like several of the blemishes that I had coming in are gone because it's the sweets. It's just the sweets for me. So now that I say we're going out to get coffee, I'm probably just gonna get a matcha lemonade because their matcha lemonade is not sweet at all. It literally just tastes like fresh lemon juice and matcha, which that's what I got. Yeah, that's what I need. But I wanted to talk to you guys about this book because I told you guys I was going to try to finish this by the new year, and I wasn't able to, just because I decided to take it slower with the book because I was reading the chapters like back to back, and sometimes I was just like skimming because of how many like pages I knew I had ahead of me, and I just don't want to do that. Like, that's so silly to like rush to read a book just because you said you wanted to finish it by a time, because then you're not actually reading the book if you can't comprehend it, to me. So I've been taking my time, and I'm on chapter 17 now, but chapter 16 was just so good, and it was talking about how when the Lord categorized himself and named himself, and was like, when they asked him who he was in Exodus 34, kind of the first two words that he says after proclaiming his name is merciful and gracious. And the chapter talks about how when the Lord was provoked to anger, that's what it was. He was provoked. But when the Lord gives his mercy and his grace, he's never provoked to give mercy or grace. He just gives it because it's just there. Like, it just pours out of him. And I think reading that really just like struck a chord in my brain about like, when we are disciplined for the things that we do, because we also know that everything we do, like, what you reap, you sow. I believe that's Galatians 6:7. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Sorry, brain rot meets Bible time. I'm so sorry. I think it's Galatians 6:7. I'm sorry. I literally had to ask somebody like what that meant the other day because I still don't get it. But either way, like, what we reap is what we sow. Girl, now I feel like I can't talk. But just thinking about the fact that when you are disciplined by the Lord, it's because we are disciplined first out of love, but also because we have done something that has provoked his hand to then go and discipline us. But also, if you really love someone, you don't just sit and let them do bad and not say anything. But just thinking about that in the grand scheme of the amount of love and mercy and just graciousness that the Lord pours into us, it's just really different. And I feel like reading this book is really like helping me just see a lot more of the kinder attributes of God that I feel like sometimes get overshadowed when you look at the God of the Old Testament and then you look at Jesus in the New and the Holy Spirit in the New and you try to reconcile the Holy Trinity. I feel like there's bits and pieces of the Holy Trinity, at least for me, that sometimes feels like it gets broken apart instead of working in with one union, because they're one, you know what I mean? The Holy Trinity, we understand it together. And so I just really enjoyed this chapter of like over the Lord and how similar the Lord is to Jesus, because Jesus was a byproduct of God. So Jesus can't be good and merciful and kind if God's not good and merciful and kind, because he's his son. And I just really, that was good for me. I needed that reminder. I really did need that reminder, because I just finished reading Genesis 2 last month, and it was just interesting seeing like the Lord's hand and stuff, but then sometimes his absence. And I was really curious about like how the Lord moves in certain things. But I think this book is really just helping me see how the Lord can be found in the goodness of things and in the gracious of things and in the mercy of things, of just letting us do what we need to do. And then in the end, he comes back and he redeems it. And I think that's pretty true for Genesis as well, with the entire story of Joseph that like takes up a really good chunk of the book of Genesis. Is in the end, like Joseph realized like, no, all this stuff had to happen for me to be the sole kind of provider for this family and for us to get redeemed. So you sold me into slavery, you did all this stuff, but it needed to happen so we could have a future. And that mercy is not innate. That mercy is not something we have. That mercy is a show of mercy that Joseph had, is from his time with the Lord and from the Lord's hand on him. Because also going back to Genesis, because I was really just so interested when I read the verses when Joseph's brothers come back and Joseph is like rude to them and he's like mean to them, and rightfully so. But then he comes back and he's like, I'm going to test their character to see if they've changed. And I feel like that's also something that like we don't talk about, that like as a Christian, you can go through hard stuff and then be like, no, I need to make sure your fruit is good because last time it was rotten. And I feel like that's also a part of the Lord too, of presenting trials to us, never tests, but trials to get us stronger and to let us see how we're doing spiritually. Because I feel like sometimes we don't realize how spiritually weak we are until we come against a trial and we're like, oh my gosh, like, oh my goodness, like, well, I'm not doing well at all. And I just feel like that's also the mercy of God, to let us come to a trial and realize how weak we are before we're in the dead heat of spiritual warfare or in a crazy, life circumstance. Like the Lord warns us, and that's also his mercy. And I hope that made sense, but I just really am enjoying this book. Okay guys, we are back home. We just ran and did a fun little dilly-dallying. I got a green tea and then a matcha latte. Y'all know I said in 2025 that I need to try matcha lemonades out and make my matcha lattes at home. However, forthcoming, I did in fact buy a matcha lemonade out today, or matcha latte out today. It was half off and it was not good. So I'm just glad that I'm remembering the lesson early in 2026 that I'm not doing that. Like, it was half off, so it was only $3. So I didn't feel bad that I didn't like it, but I wanted to try this specific place matcha latte because I love their lemonade down bad. But I just don't know. I think they're using entirely different matchas in their lattes. And I'm not really understanding that because the assumption would be if you're using a tap of matcha in your lemonade, you will use the same in your latte. I don't know why that's not the case, but starting off good either way. I got a green tea, which was not sweet at all, but I'm really also trying to do better with sugar. I think I've told you guys that like sugar is my kryptonite. So when I get drinks that are not super sweet, instead of me being like, I need it sweeter, I'll be like, nope, that's a good thing, because I don't need to be drinking sweet drinks anyways, because like my meter for sweetness is like up here when it should be like right here. So I'll drink something that's super, super sweet and be like perfect. And then I'll drink something that's like the perfect amount of sweetness for the average person, and it tastes like water to me. And I'm just working that out, okay? And so I'm just forcing myself to drink unsweet things, because that sweetener is not good for me anyway. The recommended daily amount of sugar is like so much lower than you think it is, that it's like we're consuming so much sugar on the regular that we're not even aware that like we're addicts at this point. We're sugar addicts. But that's not even why I picked up the camera. I picked up the camera to talk to you guys because I went to Ollie's and I got some more items for my no phone box. Y'all know I want to do better this 2026 with getting off my phone and kind of going analog. Analog in the sense that I'm not on a digital screen. I'm on like a one like use device, such as a DVD player, a CD player, and like that's it. So this is the box right now. It's just full of a couple activities that I can do that don't require me to be on a screen or my phone. So I have like pins for journaling. I have my journaling notebook in here. I have some crossword puzzles. I have my CD player. I have Jenga. I have a Rubik's Cube. And at Ollie's I purchased a few more kind of work kind of books that I could do. This is a sticker by number. I'm super excited for this because I have a coloring book and I don't think I like coloring as an adult. I just don't find it soothing to me, because if I can't find the right color, it just feels weird. It doesn't feel soothing at all. But I saw this, and this is a sticker by number instead of a paint by number or like a color by number, where you find the sticker and you put it in the correct place. And this one's the Bible, so it's like a cross, and all the stickers are in the back of the book. And I was like, that would be such a vibe to do. Put my like CD player on, put my headphones in, and just like take a moment and just do this little sticker by number. I got this one, and then I also got a bigger one, like a kind of, it's a little bit bigger. So we're gonna see how long it takes me to complete these, because like some of these are like, this is like for one page. These stickers all go in one page. So I'm like, that's insane, but I'm super excited to try that. So I got two of these. This one is Inspiration for the Soul, and I don't even know what this was like supposed to be. I saw like scriptures in here and stuff, but I'm mostly doing the sticker little picture. They had the one on angels, which was so interesting because I opened it thinking it was going to be a Christian book. Girl, that first page said angels are found in the Hindu, Judaism, Christianity. It broke it all down and was talking about how like some angels are found in like Islamic culture and like imagery and stuff. And I was like, that's crazy. They just mixed all of the religious angels up in one book. That's what you gotta read, because I could have been doing an angel that's not, you know what I mean, not even a part of my religion, not even knowing. That's why I got this one that says Bible. And then this one, like I said, it just says Inspiration for the Soul, and it's a bunch of like random stuff, but it says Bible verses like explicitly on this. So that's why I got this one. But I was like, that is just so, that's so interesting. But then last thing I got was this diamond painting. My little sister had to convince me to get it. It was $5. That's the only reason I got it, for real. In addition to my little sister's encouragement, I will say, because I was like, I don't think I could do this, but it's essentially, I'm not sure if you guys have seen this, but you take like wax and these little gems and you make a picture. But it came with a frame, which also sold me, because I was like, oh, when I'm done with this, this is useful. This is art for my wall. And I paid $5 for like the picture frames that I have on my wall up. So I was like, $5 for the picture frame and the activity of making the picture. We'll see. I'm gonna try. So this is the last thing that's going in my no phone box, and I'm so very excited. And then I also got this Fleetwood Mac CD. It was like his best, I think they said their best 50 songs, or no, 50 years of like their best hits. There's only 20 songs on here, but it was $10, and I recently, like I told you guys, have been re-upping my CDs and just really getting into more I think the word for it now is analog. Getting into more like anti-screen, anti-digital, like this is a digital phone screen. I'm getting into more anti-digital phone screen stuff and more of like single-use devices like CD players and DVD players. So I'm also in the process making my own CD collection so I can have it for like years to come and pass it down one day. So I had to add this because there's so many songs in here that I didn't realize that I love that I do. So I'm just gonna probably put this in my big jukebox here that I have currently a 𝚙𝚘 Wine CD in, which I'm like, this is what I love about like a personal CD collection, is that it's just whatever you want, you just put the CD in and play it. So we're gonna probably play this and do a little sticker by number or get into some type of phone list activity. I also have been reading Parable of the Sower. I've been reading Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler, and it's been such an interesting read because I don't think I was familiar with like how Octavia Butler wrote. This is a Black classic, by the way, and it's about like a girl who's like super empathetic, and like her superpower, it's science fiction, but it's in the future. So they're currently in year 2026, which is super creepy. And the main like character says a lot of stuff about the world that like is super valid today, and it's like super creepy because if I'm not mistaken, she wrote this in like 2000. I think she wrote this in the 90s. If I'm not mistaken, I think she passed away. God bless her soul. The writer Octavia Butler. I think she passed away in 2006 or something like that. So either way, she wrote this way beyond her time and is gone way beyond her time. God bless her soul and God rest her soul, because she is writing down in this book. And if I'm not mistaken, this is a duology or a trilogy. So I need to finish this one and get the more into it. But I feel like I'm just ranting now, but I'm just remembering all the stuff I wanted to talk to you guys about. I also wanted to make my no buy list, so maybe we'll do that next vlog together, because I need to sit down and think about like my no buy list of things that I'm not gonna buy in 2026. And you do your no buy list of like, I will not buy any more books until I give away like 10 books, or I will not buy any more shoes until I give away like 10 shoes. I will not buy any more makeup products until I run out, like stuff like that. And I need to sit down and write a list like that, because I'm good for just buying stuff. I haven't been buying as much recently as I normally do, which is really good, because I usually just buy a lot of like small little knickknack items for like $1 or $2. But recently I've been doing a lot better with like not buying that. And if I do buy knickknack items, like the stuff that I bought today, it's for like something that I know I'm gonna do, like an activity or a goal of mine. And so I always end up using it versus just like buying stuff that I see, if that makes sense. Like basically it's just supposed to help you stop mindless spending. So yeah, I'm gonna get to read or do a little sticker by number, listen to some music, we'll have to see. But that's it for, I think, this vlog right now. I'll have to catch you guys on the flip side in the next vlog. Happy New Year, y'all. I'm so excited to start the year with you guys.